The moment you walked through your front door, something felt different. Not because anything was missing, but because something had been added. A silent witness. A tiny eye hidden so perfectly that even if you searched every wall, every shelf, every corner, you would never notice it. And then, without warning, a video from inside your own house began spreading across the internet. Millions watched. Thousands shared it. Yet no one knew the truth behind what happened before that recording ever began. What you're about to hear isn't just another story. It's a warning wrapped inside a mystery. Don't skip. Because the person who planted that hidden camera believed they would never be discovered, until something happened that changed everything forever. It all started on a completely ordinary morning. The sunlight poured through the windows exactly as it always had. The coffee tasted the same. The silence inside the house felt comforting. Nothing looked unusual. But sometimes the greatest dangers arrive without making a sound. For weeks, strange little things had been happening. A picture frame seemed slightly tilted. A chair wasn't exactly where it had been left. A lamp faced a different direction. Tiny details that most people would dismiss. Friends laughed when these moments were mentioned. They called it forgetfulness, stress, imagination. But deep inside, a quiet voice kept whispering that someone knew this home better than its owner did. Every evening carried the same strange feeling, as though invisible eyes followed every movement. Then came the first anonymous message. It contained only 6 words. We have already seen everything. No name. No explanation. Just those chilling words. The phone number disappeared before anyone could trace it. Sleep became impossible. Every creak of the floor sounded like footsteps. Every shadow felt alive. Yet no sign of forced entry could be found. Doors remained locked. Windows untouched. The mystery only grew darker. Then another message arrived. This time it included a timestamp matching a private moment that no stranger should have known about. The realization struck like lightning. Whoever sent those messages wasn't guessing. They had been watching. Somewhere inside the house, a secret existed that had remained invisible for far too long. But discovering it would reveal something even more disturbing than anyone could imagine. Days turned into restless nights. Every object became suspicious. Smoke detectors. Wall clocks. Decorative plants. Charging adapters. Books on dusty shelves. Each item was examined with growing desperation, yet nothing appeared unusual. It felt like chasing a ghost. Friends suggested installing security devices, but what if the threat already lived inside those very walls? Then something unexpected happened. A neighbor casually mentioned seeing an unfamiliar maintenance worker entering the property several weeks earlier. No appointment had ever been scheduled. No repair request had been made. The description matched no company anyone recognized. Suddenly forgotten memories returned. There had indeed been a brief power interruption that afternoon. Just enough time for someone pretending to fix a problem to step inside unnoticed. Every puzzle piece began moving toward a terrifying picture. Hours later, while cleaning beneath an old bookshelf that hadn't been moved in years, a tiny reflection flashed under the flashlight. Smaller than a coin. Hidden behind a decorative panel. Impossible to notice unless the furniture had been shifted. Hands trembled while pulling it free. It wasn't an ordinary object. It was a miniature recording device, carefully disguised to blend into the room. The silence that followed felt heavier than thunder. But the nightmare had only begun. The storage inside the device was empty. Completely wiped. Someone had already collected the recordings. Then the phone vibrated again. Another anonymous notification appeared. This time there was no text, only a link leading to a rapidly spreading video. The thumbnail showed the living room. The very same living room. Millions of strangers had already begun watching. The comments exploded with theories, accusations, and speculation. Yet none of them understood what the footage truly contained. They believed they were witnessing an ordinary viral clip. They had no idea a single hidden detail inside those few seconds would eventually expose the mastermind behind the entire operation. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The moment that viral video began playing, everything felt strangely ordinary. The living room looked peaceful. Sunlight streamed through the windows. Nothing appeared out of place. Millions of viewers wondered why this clip was spreading so fast. Then, exactly 14 seconds into the recording, something happened that no one expected. A tiny shadow crossed the hallway, but no one was there. Frame by frame, people replayed the footage. Some believed it was an illusion. Others insisted someone had been hiding just outside the camera's view. Investigators couldn't agree, yet one detail united everyone. Whoever planted the hidden camera had never intended for this particular moment to be seen. It was an accident, and accidents often reveal the biggest secrets. Suddenly, online communities became obsessed with freezing every frame. Zooming into reflections, and enhancing every sound. Then someone noticed an almost invisible reflection inside a glass picture frame. It lasted less than a second, but it revealed the outline of a person standing exactly where no one should have been. That single reflection changed everything. The person behind the camera wasn't watching from far away. They had actually been inside the house. At some point, they had stood only a few feet away without being noticed. Every theory collapsed. Every assumption disappeared. The mystery had become far more personal than anyone imagined. If that reflection was real, then someone had entered the home more than once, and perhaps they were confident enough to return again. If this story has you questioning every ordinary moment around you, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more unforgettable stories, and share it with someone who loves impossible mysteries. But don't look away now, because the next discovery completely changed the investigation. Specialists carefully examined the original recording, expecting to uncover obvious clues. Instead, they found something much stranger. The audio contained a faint sequence of sounds repeating every few seconds. At first it resembled harmless background noise. But after cleaning the recording, experts realized the rhythm wasn't random at all. It matched the ticking of an expensive wristwatch manufactured in extremely limited numbers. Investigators traced every public owner they could find, yet none seemed connected to the house. Then an unexpected tip arrived from someone who had watched the viral clip dozens of times. They recognized the reflection of a small metallic keychain attached to the mysterious figure's pocket. It belonged to a company that had shut down years earlier. Only former employees would have owned one. Suddenly, the search narrowed from millions of possibilities to only a handful of names. One by one, each person was questioned. Most had perfect explanations. Until one individual reacted differently. Instead of denying anything, they smiled, a calm, confident smile that unsettled everyone in the room. When asked about the hidden camera, they simply replied, "You're asking the wrong question." Silence filled the room. Investigators expected panic, excuses, or confusion. Instead, they received another sentence that nobody forgot: finding the camera was never supposed to be difficult. Finding the reason it was placed there, that's impossible. Those words echoed everywhere online. They weren't a confession. They weren't a denial. They were a challenge. Suddenly people stopped asking who planted the device and started asking why. Then investigators searched deeper inside the home once more. Hidden behind an old cabinet, they discovered faint markings scratched into the wall. They weren't random lines. They formed a date. A date connected to an event that had taken place inside that very house years before anyone living there had arrived. Somehow, the hidden camera wasn't focused on the people inside the house. It had been aimed at one exact location, as though someone had been waiting for something to happen there again. Every answer uncovered an even darker question, and the truth was still hiding just beyond reach. The investigation reached its breaking point when technicians recovered fragments of deleted files from the hidden device. Most of the recordings had been erased beyond recovery. But one damaged clip survived. It lasted only 9 seconds. There were no voices. No dramatic movements. Just an empty room in complete silence. Then, without warning, the doorknob slowly turned. The door opened halfway, and stopped. No one entered. After several seconds, it quietly closed again. The timestamp revealed something impossible. According to every verified record, the house had been completely empty at that exact moment. No family members were home. No visitors had arrived. No maintenance workers had checked in. Yet the camera clearly recorded the door opening on its own. The internet exploded once again. Some claimed the timestamp had been altered. Others believed someone had hidden just outside the frame. Experts debated endlessly, but one fact refused to disappear. Minutes after that mysterious recording ended, the hidden camera permanently stopped transmitting. Almost as if whoever controlled it knew the secret had finally been captured. Then came the final twist no one saw coming. Investigators discovered the viral upload had not been posted by the person who planted the camera. It had been uploaded from an entirely different location using a completely different identity. Someone else had found the footage first and released it before the original plan could unfold. That meant there weren't just two people connected to the mystery. There was a third person operating silently behind the scenes, watching both sides without revealing themselves. Before anyone could identify them, every account involved vanished at exactly the same time, leaving behind only unanswered questions and one final anonymous message that appeared for a few seconds before disappearing forever. The camera was never the real secret. It was meant to distract you from what happened outside its view. If this revelation surprised you, tell us what you think in the comments, and if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss the ending of